shoulder mobility. Your shoulder is the most mobile joint in the body. It does all of the movements, everything. So when it starts to not move, it can become a little bit problematic. We can have trouble reaching for things, we can experience some pain. A couple of super quick mobility things you can do to help keep your shoulders happy are shoulder dislocations. Grabbing a band or a broomstick, even with the broom head still on it, it doesn't matter. And then you're gonna stand with your arms out nice and wide and bring your arms up and over behind you. And then let's come back the other way. Let's doing a few different movements. You may find this is really ugly feeling to start off with. Like it might be like a, but just keep moving through it. Eventually, you'll be able to move your hands a bit closer on whatever it is you're doing it on, and it'll feel a bit more comfortable. Once you're finished with regular shoulder dislocations, or once they're easy, you can start to mix things up for the brain a little bit and do figure eights and come back. So changing how I'm standing so you can see that a little bit better. I'm just moving my arms in a circle. Try not to think too hard about it, it hurts the head. There's shoulder dislocations for you. Next, we're going to jump down to stuff you can do on the ground or in bed. So I like to do shoulder circles where you're laying on the floor or the bed in a recovery kind of position, and this top arm is going to come up and all the way around, keeping your knee on the floor, keeping everything facing this way, and then bring the arm back. It's a bit of a stretch. It's great for the thoracic back. You get a bit of a spinal twist. If you get to just here before the hand starts lifting off, then that's where you're at. Bring the arm back and come back to the beginning. And then see if you can get just a little bit further each time before that arm lifts up off the ground. Don't lift your knee, that's cheating. And then change sides. So sometimes you've got one shoulder that works better than the other. Oh, crack in the back. That was a little bit, I think, a little bit gnarly. Better. Alright, so the first one I did was a bit gross, not great form, but now I've got that movement. And as we're moving the joint, we're just helping with get the movement happening, lube up the joints is how I usually think of it. Like things are moving, we're clearing out all the cobwebs, doing stuff we wouldn't normally do. Next, you're laying on your back and you can do some little internal, external windscreen wipers. So I've got my arm flat at 90 degrees and I'm going to bring it up. See if I can touch the mat. If I can't, that's alright. If I get to there, maybe eventually I'll get to the mat. That's my goal. And then I'll come up. And then as I'm bringing my hand down, I want to make sure I'm keeping my shoulder on the floor. None of this. So coming down as far as I can, coming back up. Going up. That's probably where I'm at until my shoulder starts wanting to lift. And then other side. You've got the other side. It's the same thing. Also too as well, thread the needle. So you start on all fours and you're going to thread one hand through the opposite hand and leg. And it's going to come along the ground. You're going to collapse on that bottom shoulder and walk this top hand up. You can leave it close to your face if that's more comfortable. When you're doing this, all your body weight's on this shoulder. You're looking this way where your hand's coming out. These hips like to dump towards the hand. So make sure you're pushing your hips in the other direction. This is a thoracic stretch. So what you're doing is helping to increase the mobility in your upper back, because if that's stiff, your lower back can overcompensate, which then leads to lower back problems, because our lower back is meant to be for mobility, not movement.
Sorry. Because our lower back's meant to be for stability, not mobility. That's better. Alright, and then changing sides. So, I'll stay here so you can see what it looks like from a different angle. Gonna spread my arm, drop on my right shoulder, walk my hand out. Alright, now you've got some shoulder things that you can try. Good luck and stay bendy.